In May of 2021, Gary Vaynerchuck launched the NFT project VeeFriends. I'm Darby Bailey, and I'm a Hangout Hawk. In our first year, we've begun meeting in what we call a Flawk, and we're documenting our conversations as we discuss all things Web3, NFT, business, and EQ. I invite you to listen in, be your own Hawk to our Hawk Flawks, and we'd love to know what resonates. Let us know what part you liked best in this video or audio.
What's up, Spence?
Just getting it together here. How you doing?
Good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Excited for today.
Are we on the right link? I don't know.
I think we are. I mean, this was the one I was sent.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we still might have a minute before it starts.
Yeah, I have it on my calendar, but for some reason, today's link wasn't working, so I used the one for next week, and that brought me here. So.
Oh, no, this was the link that I got for today's calendar. Huh? You had another one, huh?
Yeah, I think it's probably the same link for every call, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Are
Well, you
excited
excited about it? I'm very excited for today. So I got excuse me. So I got, 5 that I know from my VeeFriend 1. And then I got 2 from the book games. So that'll give me 7 of the 2 series that I know. And then we'll see what happens as far as the 5 frames. I've got 2 sets of 5 frames. So we'll see what happens with that on the 27th.
What sets are they?
Clear and black.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the ninja a lot.
I like the ninja, and I just went with, because they were all, I got 10 tokens altogether, 120 books. And I had 3 clear, so I just went for, flipping mixes that and went for the clear. And then I just went for the black because I did like the ninja.
Yeah, he's pretty interesting. You said you had 2 mints out of 10. Is that right?
2 mints out of 10. Yeah. So I feel good about that. I think that's, pretty close to
I would say
the right
average.
odds. Yeah.
Great.
I mean, some people, I feel bad for the guys that got saw one guy went 0 for 9 or something.
Oh man, I know.
I feel bad for those guys, really.
Yeah, it is a game of luck. I mean, rolling the dice. And,
Did you go for? Do you got any book?
Man, so I actually sold my book games at the peak.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because of that luck factor, I'm just like, okay, what makes sense here? So I sold 49 book tokens. I sold some throughout, the rising, but I sold most at 0.5-ish. And then I had some rares. So overall, I came out.
So you sold 49 book tokens?
Yeah.
How many books did you order on that?
555.
Ooh. Did you unload them on Craigslist?
No, I gave them all away, actually. Yeah, I did a massive giveaway.
That was a real great flip for you, man.
Very. So about 11K, from the books into, well, we'll call it 13K because shipping and all that.
Right. So then you got 24 and a half.
24 and a half.
Isn't that right? 40. If you got 49 times, you sold 0.5.
Well, I ended up with about 30 ETH total.
30 ETH. Okay.
Yeah. So
some of them went for a little more.
Oh yeah, I had some neons and some more rare. But the funniest part of all this is I kept one a gratitude because I felt like the floor wasn't suitable. What's up, Darby?
Good morning, Darby.
I kept one book games and that one ended up getting a friends list spot. So I went 1 for 1.
And that is the luck. Truly. Are you Irish?
No. I'm a mutt. Hi, Darby. How are you?
Good, how are you? Good to see you. Long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been really busy, distracted, and tied up. Excited for today, though.
Today's gonna be an amazing day.
Yeah, you look cold.
It snowed here last night. It snowed like 2 days ago. It was 70 degrees. This is Utah in the springtime. It's 70 degrees one day, and then the next day there's a severe winter storm warning, and there's 2 inches of snow on the ground. So,
Oh man, I hope Minnesota's not like that when we go.
oh yeah, it should be warm.
Late,
Well, you never know.
late May, we'll be good.
There'll be tulips everywhere, or flowers, hopefully.
Well, I don't know. You guys don't know my luck yet, so it could be the worst snowstorm ever.
But you got that one
Yeah.
book game. Things have turned around.
Yeah.
True. Well, I used it all up. That's the problem.
It's good to see you back in the Hawk channel recently too.
Yeah. I don't know if you know, but I kind of was on a loan. I was in kind of debt, right? And I used my Hawk as collateral because it was either that or the pig. And honestly, I played hot potato and bounced around, using the pig to pay that off, vice versa for like 5 months. Because I got in a spot, and then I used book games to pay that off here recently. I sold most of them. Yeah.
So what did you do with your one book game? Did you flip that up to more, or how'd that go?
Well, I had 50 originally, and then I sold 49 and kept one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah. Because me and Spence was talking about the whole game of chance. Like, we saw some people go 0 and 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, is this really the right move here? Like, guaranteed 0.5 across the board. And now what I'm doing is I'm ready to snipe the floor for VeeFriends too, so I think it's what do you call it? A hopeful play on my part, but we'll see.
Yeah. I wish I was. I'm getting better at these things. At the flip life. I'm good at in real life things like finding cool stuff at the yard sales and thrift stores, and then 10 timesing it. But the NFT,
Right.
work,
Yeah, I think the
Well-
question that I was asking myself is like, are people excited right now? And when they're excited, usually you want to sell because excitement only lasts X amount of time,
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about that. So I actually, yesterday, Gary had put something in the Discord channel about a link to eBay, and some of those cards were there. And there was a signed one. I'm curious if it sold last night. One of his signed.
The empathy elephant, I think, right?
There was a signed card in. Well, there's one right. Oh, let's see there right now. Actually, an autographed card. It's got his autograph. Ponder it from all angles, and it was at like $700 on eBay. And last night when I went to bed, it was like 800, and I'm just now I'm looking at 1,000. And there's a lot of cards listed on eBay for like $10,000 with his signature, right? And so I was thinking that same thing. I was like, but I don't know how many of those the top price have sold. So I thought you've got to get in when the momentum's right. So that's kind of what you're saying is when people are excited.
Yeah, the
To be able to
FOMO,
sell. Yeah.
Honestly, I looked at some of the eBay stuff too, and I'm like, man, I want to get some of these because they look so like underestimated, but I just don't know nothing about like eBay and cards and authenticity. And so
Yeah, there's only a couple that are graded.
yeah.
But you can see, I mean, in some of them, you can see the pictures have the, I think they did a good job with the foil inlay. I don't know. So I got one. We'll see. I'll get it. And then maybe that'll be my first thing I try to get graded. I have a bunch of baseball cards I want to get graded too, but I got it for $200. And I was like,
I
okay.
wonder who has the hollow patient pig.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
And
Darby,
I
are you
wonder,
good? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Are you an old card collector?
I am.
Really?
So as a
I used to
kid-
have a card shop.
You did?
Really?
Oh, nice.
Back in,
Impressive.
God, what was it? Late 80s, the junk years, late 80s to early 90s.
I have a lot of those books.
Yeah, but I was able to get a nice collection of older stuff. The reason I got the shop is I started collecting,
Yeah.
it reminded me of my youth. And I go, the only way to get the good stuff for a good price is to have a shop. So open a shop, man. And so I was able to
considered a shop as I've gotten older.
yeah. So what era did you
Well, as a
get?
kid, I did Star Wars cards and Charlie's Angels cards and like Archie cards, and nothing like sporty because I'm a girl. That's just the stuff that I liked. But then as I got older, and in the recent past, like I'll go to thrift stores and see what I can find. But now I'm just trying to catch or get I got a little box of just 90s baseball cards. So I've got a bunch of Michael Jordans in there. I've got some Scottie Pippens. And then every once in a while I'll find like I feel so bad, but I'll find a binder of some kids' baseball cards that somebody threw away. And I've got some rookie cards from baseball in the 80s. And then I've got a stack of those, I don't know what they're called, but the big boxes that hold baseball cards. Somebody had liquidated like a card store owner had liquidated a bunch of junk cards, but they were like $5 a box. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get them because it's fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then go through them and see if you see any names or anything.
Yeah, I'm a Dodgers fan, so there's a bunch of Tommy Lasorda's in there. They're mostly like, there are some in there from the 70s, but most of them are like 80s and like into the early 90s, like maybe 91, 92. And then there's one box full of like the baseball commissioners cards. It's like 10,000 baseball commissioner cards. I'm like, I need to make an art project out of this. Like, it's just like so many of the same card.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I've got them, and at this point now, I'm like, I just love like when I have a couple of hours, and if I find them, and I love like looking at them, and I'll grab them, but I have yet to learn how to sell. So
hold.
Does anybody know if Yu-Gi-Oh cards are worth anything nowadays?
What cards?
Yu-Gi-Oh?
I don't even know I don't know.
You don't know what that is?
No.
Oh, they can't be worth anything then.
Well, that's not true. I mean, yeah, I think generation, there's, cards that come out in different generations that are hot. And like, if you don't have kids and you aren't then in that age bracket, you don't know.
Yeah, it's like a
so
Pokemon
rare that we have never
Yu-Gi-Oh.
heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've seen them, you probably recognize them, but it's like a Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh dueling trading card. And I just remember as a kid I had like, oh man, like thousands like boxes stacked. And
Okay.
I lost all of them. So I'm just wondering if I'm like one of those dudes who lost his cold wallet with 100 Bitcoin on it,
Yeah, my brother at his house, I haven't heard of those 80s, so but he's got a bunch of Cabbage Patch Kids and like 80s cards. Like he's got and we joke, I'm like, can I just have one pack? Can we just open one pack for on TikTok? And he's like, no, I'm never opening any of them. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're just opening thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
You gotta do it for the talk, bro.
Yeah. Hi, Signe.
Hi.
How's it going?
Great. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good morning, Signe. Good to see you.
Good morning. Has anyone bought any of the VeeFriend 2s yet? Started buying them?
It's not out yet. It's not out until
At 2 o'clock-ish? Didn't he say
2
after?
o'clock? Okay.
I think it's gonna be somewhere around 5.
Okay.
The minting?
Yeah. What I heard.
Are we talking Eastern time?
Eastern, yeah. So like 5
Yeah.
hours.
Oh.
So if you have series 1, he's going to just drop them in the wallet, right?
Oh.
No, you have to claim them.
Oh,
So you pay
Okay,
gas.
so
yes.
okay. So how does that work? You've got series 1. You connect your wallet with the series 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you connect on the website and then you get to claim and pay gas.
Okay, we've got 12 days to do it.
Yes, 12 and a half.
Yeah.
Actually, for those you have I think until the end of the year to claim those.
I think you're right, Aiden. Yeah,
I think you're right.
There's no rush at all.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's probably true for ours.
Yeah, for the claims, yeah.
And we already know what they're gonna look like, right? They're gonna look like series 1.
Except for the Hawks. We
You
don't
don't
know
get-
what we're getting.
Oh, right.
We get a random, right? Do we get a random?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Legend,
Oh.
why are you yawning?
Good morning. It's early for him.
he's probably excited about VeeFriends too, couldn't sleep.
The Tuesday sessions are at like 2 in the morning for me.
Oh, wow.
He's a beast.
That's hardy.
Yeah.
You're, good thing you're young.
It's like my bedtime, bro.
Hey,
So I-
Aiden, I like that, the graphic you have there. That's pretty fun.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm working on
It's a skill.
my personal brand quite a bit. I'm gonna have a lot more of those.
Aiden, this is not VeeFriends related, but Aiden, did you get your skull blood vial?
I did, and I sold 2 last night at the peak of 0.4.
I'm curious to know, this does apply generally to like the NFT industry, what you think about so I have 5 and I was like, should I put all 5 to one skull? Or, because I actually like the look of the 2 vials. So you
Yeah.
can, it's kind of like Bored Ape Yacht Club to Mutant Ape Yacht Club, right? There's this thing in the NFT space where you like mutate your original NFT. I'm curious, like, did you keep some to mutate some of yours, or are you going to mutate some?
So it goes back to the whole thing of like selling on the excitement. It's a cliche saying, right? But that's what I did. I sold at 0.4, both of mine. So I got 0.8, and then today they're 0.2. So I could buy back easily and make 0.4 profit. But I'm trying to liquidate and get as many VeeFriends too as possible.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, like I even have a snipe bot set up. So
Wow.
anything that is listed below like 0.8, I'm gonna try to snag. Just because I don't want to say regret, but every time Gary comes out with like book names or VeeFriend 1, like I can never go hard enough, you know. So
Yeah.
I've even considered selling my skulls,
Yeah.
but I'm like, oh man, I'm probably gonna regret that in a year or 2, you know.
What are the skulls? What are you guys talking about?
So Skills, is it the first or second generative 10,000 PFP project? And like last 6 months ago, maybe Gary aped into it. He bought one of the rare ones.
Hmm.
And it kind of was I feel like it started the historical, like appreciation for the historical
Yes.
projects, which really are 2000, like we're all part of history. Like I'm surprised people don't talk about VeeFriends. It's like everything before VeeFriends.
I think they will eventually, which is good. So we have a chance to build
Yeah.
more, those of us who value it.
Agree. And
Did the
Skills
apes come
community
out
is good.
right when we came out?
They were right before, like I remember looking at them like I could buy one. I think they were 1
Yeah.
or 2 ETH. And I was
They
like,
were going for what VeeFriends did. I was going, I'm going to get one of those, and
me
of
too. And I was
course,
like, what is that? I want to get in there, but I like it. Yeah.
but I knew who Gary was, and I had no idea who these guys were. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Chad.
Hi, Chad.
I'm Monica.
I'm Monica.
Anyway, yeah. So I don't have as much. I'm overloaded. I wish I had more time to pay attention. I feel like I have to purposefully check out from NFT space like a couple days a week or like more than
Right.
that. Other stuff then, and I don't write bots quickly enough to like understand it. So it's cool to watch you, Aiden, and flip and move around and make moves like that, because it's nice to know it's possible.
Yeah, it's definitely fun, and I do lose quite a bit. I mean, you win and lose.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I just dumped like 10 ETH into a project, and it ended up, I don't want to say it's dead, but it's basically, it's either going to revive later or it's going to die completely.
Yeah.
So there goes that 10 ETH that could have been on VeeFriends too, but it's just a reminder not to bet on anybody besides Gary. Nobody's out here like Gary is. Like if he loses, then his entire career and reputation is done. Nobody else can say that, I mean, who else puts that kind of weight on themselves?
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now. There are other people in the space that are great, but yeah, nobody's banking their entire reputation on it and just acting as the true jockey that I can think of. Anyway, so I'm gonna segue. I want to ask everybody else what they want to, what if they're going to burn today, and how many, or mint today for 2. Aiden, how many did you say? How many VeeFriend 2 slots do you have?
I have 1 mint and I
Mhm.
have 3 claims.
Okay. And Spence, how many do you have today?
Well, I've got 5 from series 1.
Mhm.
And then I've got 2 through the book games.
Awesome.
And I don't think I'm going to mint today. I think I'm going to hold off. I don't want to just Jones right away, you know, and
Yeah. I was going to try 1 today. I really want to, like, it reminds me of May 5th when they had to delay a
I
little bit.
know.
And I just love the excitement of that. So I just just the 1.
Yeah, no, I know. 1 leads to 2.
I know.
Yeah, that was the whole issue, wasn't it?
Yeah. Tiffany, how about you? Are you gonna mint or?
I think I'm gonna mint 1,
Mhm.
but I think I'm gonna wait because I'm waiting on another project. I'm in a raffle to see if I get that or not, and then I'll mint. So I'll need to move more ETH in, or so I think I'll do 1 for now.
Manuel, what about you?
FYI, Ra, the whale Ra,
Uh-huh.
he is willing to loan people ETH if they need it to mint their VeeFriends 2 friends list spots.
Goodness.
And he's like really willing to work out a very easy deal. So if you need that, feel free to hit him up.
Did you post that? I'm
I would
curious in
just
the
put
Discord.
money in.
Yeah, I think I'm vaguely remembering there's a hawk that was in that has. Anyway, I'll remember that. Thanks, Aiden.
Yeah, he said it in the AMA the other day.
Okay. And I don't know if I know, is it RAJ, Raj?
It's Ra, R-A.
Thank you.
Oh, Raj. Yeah. I think Laura met with him at one point.
Yeah, his actual name is Mohit.
Mohit.
Oh, okay.
And I'm also looking to buy friends list spots if anybody wants to sell, but I strongly advise that you mint.
Yeah. What about you, Manuel? How many are you going to mint today, or?
I'm gonna watch gas and see how high it gets. I mean, it's low right now, but it'll spike as soon as everybody starts to try to mint. But I've got the 5 series 1s that I'm gonna get, and then I got 3 spots out of 5 book games that I can mint. And I'm looking to see if I can snipe some cheaper book games to see if I get one of the spectaculars at the end of the month. So
Oh yeah, that's a good
got a
idea.
little game plan.
Yeah, because I did look at I think with Koala 25s were half price of what I paid. Like it's my struggle, Aiden. So I sold my spec V1 because I was completely illiquid, so I couldn't get any book games. And I was like, I really want to play book games because I'm just loving this whole journey and like experiencing all the different stages of the project. So now I'm like kind of regretting selling it, but not. I have a Koala 25 and a Paper Hens Pony, but now I'm learning from people. If I would have waited till now, I'd have 2 Koala 25s and 2 Paper Hens Ponies. Right. So that's cool, Manuel. I hadn't thought to maybe try and buy, although the ogres are like 40 or higher. I'll never get it.
Oh, the ogres are definitely out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Legend, are you gonna mint today?
Nope, sold all my book games at 0.5 ish.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go sniping. Whenever they reveal.
Oh.
And I'm probably going to sell the Hawk unrevealed as well.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's probably a
Damn.
good play.
Paper hands, man. No, I'm just kidding.
I
I'm doing
mean,
the same.
that's how it is. Most people get their initial sales out at the highest point
I
until
feel
it
you.
pumps
I'm
later.
doing the same thing you are.
I hadn't thought about that because I'm I mean, I just mentioned like having a couple of situations where I didn't understand the market well enough and I could have lost less or made more. So right now is the time when everybody wants V2. So if I'm gonna get 4 and then I have 5 book games. So it's an opportune time for me to sell one of those if I want to make max profit, right? That's what you're doing, Legend.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It
And
works
and I
until
know
it
that.
doesn't.
Right, yeah.
So I know that. So the supply is what, like 55, right? 55 G's.
Yep.
So I know that Gary's harping on like, everyone's worried about the supply, but what you really have to worry about is the demand. I don't feel like the demand is here yet for
For that many?
55. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because if we're looking at just the V1 demand, like it hasn't been here in a minute,
That's true.
So I think it's still like all of Gary's stuff, it's still super long-term plays. So like I feel like right now on every level on the Vayner spectrum or whatever, like if you look at the gift goat mini drops, all the initial sales are the highest
Mhm.
and then it tapers down. Same thing with the VCon tickets. All the
Yeah,
initial
wow.
sales
Yeah.
pre-reveal. So like I'm just following the trend. I'm just
Well, except for VeeFriends 1 that exploded. So that's it
yeah.
could go either way, but it's
But
lesser
at the
chance.
very for that though, everything was exploding back then. Along with
Fair.
VF1.
Fair, but I mean, we've exploded a few times, the most likely scenario is just like you said, people are gonna sell and make it the highest profit on launch. That's
Yeah.
why it's annoying when people are like, "Oh, go to sleep, don't worry about it. You can mint 12 days." I'm like, "No, motherfucker, I'm gonna mint now and sell it for the highest price."
Yeah.
But on the flip side, there is a smaller chance that it just goes to that next level and you never see a lower floor. But it's a very slight chance, but it can happen.
Yeah, I'm not worried about a 55,555 floor going crazy out of reach anytime soon right now.
Mhm. But I'm curious, it's gonna sell out, right? It'll sell out, but that's people buying multiples or people getting in and now they're in and then the floor just is stagnant for a while. But we've got a 12-day window, right? So the floor for like the unrevealed, I hadn't considered selling an unrevealed. I want to see what it is first before I want to sell it. But people who want to say, I want to guarantee get one, I can buy an unrevealed on OpenSea right now. They're going to pay a premium for that, right? Over the 12 days.
Another thing that I've been thinking about too is like, say for the unrevealed, right? A lot of the people that don't want to sell those is because they're holding on to it, chasing like
Black cat.
the black cat. Yeah, like the top dogs, right? Those are low chances of you getting an unrevealed. I would say 90% of the time you'd win by selling unrevealed because you just not gonna get a character that statistically
Mhm.
will sell at like a higher price point.
Interesting. Monica, what about you? Are you going to mint today? Or are you going to wait?
I'm not minting today because I was planning on selling some VCon tickets, but not since they dropped down to about $1,000. So
See, sell pre-reveal.
this is true. I knew that there was a chance that he would have overhyped it and it might go down in like 1.3, which still is more than I was expecting, but $1,100, I've got to just think they'll be worth more closer to. So anyway, so no, I'm not minting any today because I don't have the ETH and I don't really want to bring more ETH in. So,
Right. So you'll wait.
But I will. Yeah, I will before. I would, if I did have the ETH, I would probably do one day, some later. but not really in a rush.
Monica, are you new? I don't think I've ever seen you before.
No, I've been here from the beginning.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. I'm just.
It's just been a
Do
while.
you
yeah.
remember me? Have you seen me before?
Yeah, we even carry on conversations.
Oh my God, I'm horrible. Maybe it's the background. I
Well, I'll
apologize.
take this opportunity to say Monica and I and Benny and Laura have been working on the party. So if you look at her background and my background, you can see the party plans.
I'm so excited for the party, honestly. Hopefully the fly fish doesn't outshine us. We gotta do better. We gotta like hire performers. Where's Snoop? Let's pay him to perform.
Our party will be great. I think it's gonna be awesome. There's no way, I mean, the streets are gonna be hopping, I think, people trying to bounce around from party to party.
Yeah, for
Good.
sure.
Yeah. And I don't have a fly fish. I don't know, does Laura have a fly fish? She wants to go to that party, so I'm not gonna go over there, but I'm pretty much, I'll go to the one party. I've got my friend I'm bringing with me, so, yeah,
When is the Flatfish party? Same night?
same night, yeah.
Same
Think
time
same
too.
time. Yeah, same time. I would expect there will be other parties on Friday night, same night, same time. Like, I don't, you know, I don't go into the other channels much to see what other party plans are happening, but I guess we'll find out when they publish the list. There's only 2 nights, really, well, 3 nights for parties, but Friday and Saturday night. And if I were an artist and had I would even didn't have a V1, I might even consider like going to the city and doing a party like Danny Cooley or Creature. I don't know. I'm curious to see how many outside projects try to build on the momentum there.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, I think it's all coming back to me now. Monica, are you the one with the pet pig? Yes, is that a yes?
I didn't know
How
you
could
had.
I forget? I'm so sorry. I love that pig. That made my day that one time, that one day.
So Manuel says if anybody has a friend who wants to attend the Hawk party, he's got an extra ticket. That's awesome. I'll remember that. I also think I found a volunteer in Minneapolis that is willing to help. He doesn't have, I think he's got one friends list spot. So we can talk about that later at party planning meeting.
Darby, where's the location?
It's at Day Block Event Center. It's a few blocks away from VCon.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool brew pub event center and a nice like restaurant, a really cool old building.
All right.
It's really close. It's within walking distance.
Do you know how many tickets have been sold?
I can check really quick. Yeah, we're about 50% the last time I looked. We've sold about half.
Alright.
So we have a little over 100 people.
And Fish took the rest of them. He was going to get rid of the rest of them, right?
So he was going to open it up. So what did we say? People in the hot, and we haven't really announced this. My last week has been like a whole new schedule for me. So it's just been like trying to manage. I didn't make an announcement, but we were going to open it up to people who want to buy more in the Hawks, and then we can open it up to friends of friends. So if it's the same link, but let me go see. I'm gonna go check to see. And I think we, I don't know what we're doing for merch. We're working hard to have something ready for the party. After, that's the other thing, like Aiden's got his skull and his shirt. Like you own that skull, right, Aiden? So you can use the IP. I've got some skulls and some other projects where I can do whatever I want with the art, but and we all knew this coming into VeeFriends that we don't own the Hawk, so like it's kind of ask for forgiveness, which is what that is before
Right.
permission.
Yeah, I thought somebody was doing that, the shirts, and they're like, oh yeah, I got permission, and then I think that got reversed or something.
Yeah, they changed. Yeah, they said they nixed it. So
Yeah, I thought that was very unlikely because, I mean, Gary's very solid on his opinion of that.
Yeah, like I talked to D-Rock a couple times and he's like, yeah, just ask for permission. You're like, and generally like, I feel like in this community, it's like, we know you're doing your best, right? We'll like tell you to stop if you like go overboard. But in my mind, I feel like because it seemed like a cohesive branded package of things. It wasn't just a one-off like invitation behind me or Julian had a friend and he posted on Twitter yesterday that somebody had made him this graffiti hawk, like artwork on a canvas. It's so cool looking. But the merchandise package was like, and we'd all kind of voted on it, right? To like, and said, just, yeah, run with it. But it was like, I think cohesive enough where it really like encapsulated like a branded package. And maybe that's why it was like, okay, hold on. No, don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty sure that you can make your own, like,
Yeah, we could do
flag.
all our own. We were just like, he's got access to like, wholesale pricing and
Right.
print shop. So it was like, yeah, let's have him do all that for us. But
So you think if
Cause-
someone came up with a nice shot of a hawk, that would work? Nice drawing or something?
Yeah,
It
so
just doesn't, it can't be what he's got.
yeah, so at this point, the last conversation that I had with Benny and Monica and laptop Laura, was that we can iterate on our own brand all we want. If the Hawks want to come up with our own Hawk brand, and we had started that at one point with some basic graphics, but then because we thought, well, it's okay if we just use this just for us, like the existing Gary artwork. But that was the next. Laura had talked Friday about sending out something to the group to start that process of maybe having a competition. Maybe we can source artists, draw it ourselves. I don't know, to get some like branded Hawk artwork that we want to use on our own. But then it comes into like the early conversations, which really instigated these drop-ins of a DAO and what do we want to do with that? And as a group, what do we want to do? Do we want to have everyone make their own Hawk artwork, or do we want to have it be something we all vote on so that it becomes a brand that we're all a part of? Because yeah, we can draw Hawks, we can do whatever we want with like the idea of us being Hawks, right? And iterate off of it as long as it's not that guy. Yeah. And there's a lot we could do with it. I actually, let's ask around about that. Like, what would you want, Spence, if we had our own artwork and brand? Oh, you're muted, by the way. Hey, Spence, you're muted. Classic.
Sorry about that, barking dogs. So yeah, I just really love the hawk. Before I joined the Hawks, it's my favorite bird. It's one of my favorite animals. And I think if there was like a really nice drawing of a hawk and like a bunch of people submit different ones and from either their own hand or an artist, a talented artist, and then vote on it. You want it to look good, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I know I know all his creations came from his heart, and I appreciate that. But a lot of them, aren't really great looking.
Well, I mean, yeah, like we're moving into series version 2, right? Where he's obviously hired artists to like further the character, but they're not doing that with Hawks, which I'm like innately curious about what that means and like what that's going to turn into. Like,
yeah,
no idea. But like, yeah, we could open it up to like artists in the VeeFriends community if we want to have a competition. We could even say like, I'm willing to donate like a book game or something to help further that effort. Like, I love the idea of like, a big part of my growth this past year has been owning my elderness. Like I'm an elder, I'm older. And like saying like, I have experience to give that like, I had never considered before. Like I'm a Gen X, right? So I'm now like starting to talk to 20 somethings and even 30 somethings. And like, there's like I like to think of it in the apprenticeship model. So if there's ways that like the Hawks as business owners can reach out to the younger business owners who in this case would be an artist or creative and help facilitate their path. And like, I think it's such a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. Cool. You're an artist, right?
I'm an artist. Yeah. My
Yeah.
background's like, yeah, I'm at every, yeah, I work on the creative team wherever but in tech. So yeah, that's my history is art, music. What else? Yeah. Dancing. Yeah. And then tech. Yeah. And business. Yeah. But I think it'd be cool if we could, like, I was just going to try and find this art from Julian that that this guy had drawn, because I think it's so cool. I'm going to share it with you.
Hey, Darby,
Yeah.
would you be willing to give me 5 to 10 minutes at the party or somewhere at VCon, just to pick your brain a little bit about a project that I'm working on?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna ask for dancing lessons, bro.
But when I said
That-
dancing,
that-
for some reason I pictured like an old Western where like somebody's shooting at your feet and they make you like dance over the bullets. I'm really good at that kind of dancing.
Oh, that's very cool. Look at
Isn't it
that.
cool? That's the guy that
What-
did there's a big mural for Board Up Yacht Club that I don't know where it is. I think it's in Miami, that they had done like 10 or 8 and 8 apes, this street artist, and he had done this for
That's awfully close to Gary's, right?
it's really close. It's pretty much a straight, yeah, it's just the Gary's Hawk. But it would be cool to get
Cool.
an iteration or two away from that, where it's a wholly unique hawk. Yeah. Legend, what do you think about the idea of like opening it up to VeeFriends artists to create some art for us and have a competition? You're muted, but I really want to know what you think.
I'm not too sure. I don't really have any input on that end. I'm not a
Do you-
creative or anything.
Do you wish you had hawk, like some hawk gear, like t-shirt, cap, etc.?
I definitely want like merch,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I think at this point, since the official or the unofficial bulk package got shut down, like I guess we just gotta wait for whatever, or make our own that we gotta rep, you know,
Yeah.
like individually. Cause I don't know if you guys were in the early Clubhouse stages. We had a dude, you guys might have seen it. I think his name is Ron. He made a turn tick snapback. And yeah, like if you make onesie twosies and they're nice and clean like that, Gary was fine with it. He gave the okay. And unfortunately, I guess since we're making it for like all the Hawks, that's probably why it got shut down.
The problem is selling them, I believe. You know, like when you start selling them, that's when he gets a little
Well, I don't think we were selling them, right? We were just creating
Internally.
them for
They're
us.
just covering the
right?
cost of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
So-
think it's still selling them though, still considered like a transactional engagement, you know.
Okay. Well,
That's
yeah.
at least where I think they would draw the line.
I can see it as that, but if we're like buying them for us, I don't know. That's why I said I have no input. I have no
Yeah.
idea how that
It's a
stuff
real
works.
gray area. Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is we want the hot swag because we want it to be recognizable as a Hangout Hawk. And so it's like if you're doing a community created thing, it can't really be recognizable. Otherwise, it's going to be shut down by the official team, right? Like, it has to be something very, very different.
Even the goats, like for the profound jacket, like we were kind of surprised, like it wasn't even like a gift goat specific like design.
Right.
It was just like a generic VeeFriends one. So I'm curious, like maybe they're working on it and they just haven't perfected it yet and they want it to be, you know, top of the notch, but I don't know at this point,
Yeah,
to be honest.
Well,
Their
I mean,
apparel art is questionable.
look at the apparel that they've made so far, though. I think they've made it generic because they know people would be flipping it, right? So they want to have as much of an opportunity to sell it, not just keep it. So who knows?
The the one where I was like, what the hell? Whenever they did the resale
Anwar.
channel, the black
Uh,
shirt with hoodie, and the words for V was black, and then the black cat was all black. So you couldn't see any of it. And I'm like, why didn't they outline it in white or reverse it to white, right? Like,
Dude, like at
because
least the gray, right? Gray,
all you
black.
can see is friends.
Mhm.
And I even saw Gary wearing one of those shirts in a video. And I'm like, bro, you can't even read it or you can't even see it. Like, who's making these choices?
I don't know.
I get the idea of moving fast, bro, but I think you can do a little better than Microsoft Paint.
There's one thing I will say. So I won't say who it is, but I know some women who got some of the current VeeFriends t-shirts, and it reminds me honestly of like 1999 in the Bay Area in tech, when everything was like a t-shirt for dudes. So like I wear t-shirts all the time. I have a bunch of like old like I love t-shirts, but I really wish there was just like one more thing. Like Boss Beauties has a couple of wear items you can wear that are like more fashiony, cutie for that aren't just a t-shirt. So I'd love to have some merchandise that's a little bit different, you know. I wish more people in the space were doing that, but maybe that'll come, especially with the whole push for like women NFT projects too. But I guess like the tech industry, that women are a minority here, so maybe I'll just have to do it myself.
Maybe the polo shirt with the sleeves off and the
that's a
collar
good
cloth,
suggestion.
right? Back speaking
Oh,
of the
Buffy, yeah, that's a good idea. A little patch like the old Izods, like with the collar up.
Exactly.
Do a little golf outfit. Yeah, that's a great idea, actually.
You
That's a
know,
great
something that you
That was
said
big
that
in
gave
like
you
'88.
idea.
something that you said that gave you like the 90s feel.
Mhm.
The recent like VeeFriends video teasers, like showing off like the characters,
Oh, the robot,
like
yeah.
those give me like 90s feels, like
Interesting.
nothing modern. Like it like reminds me of commercials and shows like from back in the day, like in the 90s,
I'm
like
curious,
when
like
I was
what that,
growing
yeah,
up.
like what does that feel like engagement wise for you? Like, is it nostalgic for you? Or is it good?
No, it felt like, I mean, I guess it felt familiar. It was nostalgic, but it was like it doesn't feel Web3-ish or like
Yeah.
new-ish, you know? So I was thinking about that because when I think what was the latest one? The Heart Trooper one.
Mhm.
It just felt like a really old, like it felt like it came out a long time ago type of vibe.
So yeah, in
That's-
my mind, yeah, the first one I saw reminded me of Conjunction Junction, which I don't know if you remember that series. So I think it's that Gary's Gen X, or maybe he has got that, like, I don't know. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just like that, but a modern version. He's trying to incorporate like, and I'm researching entertainment education in my PhD, right? So it's having it kind of this hook of like of teaching while also entertaining. But part of me thinks he's trying, to me, it's a little bit more timeless, but I also didn't, that was right when I stopped watching cartoons. That's when I was playing like early sim games and.
So
adventure-
that's
yeah.
exactly 1,000% what he's doing is, the old school cartoons of like Mr. Rod, he's not a cartoon, but like Mr. Rogers, and combining all that into these characters and making these characters like the face of empathy or whatever it is, right? Giving them an identity. And I think he's definitely shooting for an older vibe just because you don't see that a lot today, right? All those characteristics are really stuck to old time cartoon characters.
You just made me wonder something. So in transmedia is like having like completely detached points of like contact with a brand, right? Like you've got your like Minnie Mouse that your kid has in their bedroom, their little stuffed animal, but then they also go to the park and they're in Disney World and they see the person in the costume. And then they also like have the cartoons. like, it feels like these cartoons might be something that like parents could watch with their kids, but the kids are gonna be the ones actually in the, but like, maybe not the kids, but like the younger people now that are gonna have kids in 5 years. It seems like it's a point of like contact to the brand. It's not just for like the hardcore, like I'm gonna buy the NFTs, right? Like the people that are in the NFT space right now all understand technology to a degree that not a lot of people do, even if it's just like getting a wallet. But
Yeah.
yeah.
The IP is the focus for him, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, even on the VeeFriends website, I think the headline is a Gary Vaynerchuck project based around intellectual property. And that's a very long-term game. You know, like you said, with children being the ones that really consume the long-term character content, eventually they're going to grow up and VeeFriends will be their Disney characters and their childhood nostalgia, right?
Yeah. Like that reminds me, a couple of weeks ago, my nephew and niece, they're 7 and 5. They wanted to watch cartoons, and me and my brother were like, let's show them some old Bugs Bunny. So we got some of those old cartoons where they're literally dropping bombs on people, like TNT, and like blowing up animals. And I'm like, this doesn't have the same, huh? Like we grew up with, they're like, why are they blowing each other up? Like
Yeah, so different.
I'm like, yeah, we're old. Okay. But yeah, they still liked it. They watched it.
Yeah, it's so fun to look
That
at
just
that.
goes to see like the people, the kids that grow up with like the VeeFriends content in the next coming decade, then we'll grow up and then they'll go back to watch it again, right? If as long as it's executed in a way that lasts long term, which I think Legend talking about how it seems old, I think that's actually a good thing because like what's old is new again, so that will keep going over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
I
say
have
though, I am a little ticked off that he's out here putting the spotlight on Real Robot, and my boy Aiden Tag got it as his profile picture, like rocking his goo Real Robot. I'm like, bro, you did that shit on purpose. What about me? Don't you like me more?
Wait,
I
who's
guess not.
VeeFriends profile picture? Who's
No, Aiden Tag, the other Aiden, the rich
yeah.
Aiden, the massive whale Aiden.
Yeah, there was a day when VeeFriends had my polar bears their profile picture. Made me
Yeah, same
proud.
pig, hollow pig.
Hey Ben, good to see you.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. How's your day going?
Not great.
No.
Not-
Oh no.
Why? Well, let's hear it.
I don't need, I just, life's been tough for Ben recently. I got a lot of shit going on in my personal life.
Does it have to do with TikTok?
No, not at all. I mean, but it doesn't have to do with TikTok, but like, you'll see similarities. Like, I'm just like I'm a negative dude. Like, I mostly jump into conversations and I try to catch myself and I try not to do it, but just, I don't know. I'm a negative dude.
Well, I don't know. So you're self-aware, but I don't know if is negative the right thing or what's a word? How do you?
No, it's definitely negative. Like, because
Okay.
I'm like, I mean, you could say contrarian, but I don't try to be, but contrarian seems to suggest that whatever you say, I'll specifically say the opposite. And I'm just like, no, if you have a negative opinion, I'll probably agree with it. But like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever it is. I'm having a day.
Yeah, I enjoy your TikToks. I'm the opposite of that. Like I need more of that. That's one of my things that I'm not very good at. So it's
No, you don't need negativity. Trust me. Trust me.
Contrarian. Like I would never be on the debate team, for example. Never. It would never happen.
Oh, I love debate. Actually, I suck at it though. It's fun. Ben,
curious-
how many booking friends list do you have?
I got 2 friends list. Yeah, so that's the deal.
You got any claims?
Say this again?
Do you have any VeeFriends 1 claims?
The VeeFriends, I mean, I just have the Hangout Hawk.
Okay, got it. So you have 3 total.
That is correct.
Nice.
You know what's
How
so
many-
funny though?
What?
I'm
What's
so
funny?
negative, but around VeeFriends, so many people are negative and I'm so positive.
See, this is your happy place, right? You're in the right place.
Well, like, cause like people are just like, oh, I don't like when Gary does this. I don't like when he does that. Why does he do this? Why does he do that? And I'm like, listen, the only thing you should really care about is whether or not in 5 years, people know about and care about these characters and ideas. If they do, then all the work was successful. And if they don't, then it was all a bust. But like, that's the thing. I think he's a pretty decent marketer. So I'm positive, but like some people are negative.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear your observations of like, oh, I'm a negative person, but in VeeFriends, I'm like the hypest positive person. Maybe it's some of your environment, my friend. I don't know what your your day-to-day activities or arrangements are like, but that can definitely contribute to your mood and your
I
outlook.
mean, I think it's certainly part of it. I mean, I think that at least with VeeFriends and whatever, I don't necessarily think I'm a great trader, but I think I'm a pretty decent investor because I take a decent amount of time to actually pull the trigger because I'll think about it a lot. So a lot of things that come up, I find a lot of negatives. VeeFriends is something that I thought a lot about and then I put a lot of money into. So, I'm like, I guess I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're an analyst, right?
I mean, I analyze things, I guess. I don't know what I do.
It's funny. So I had a conversation recently. This reminds me of it to where I was getting full transparency. I was hired to do marketing for an NFT project. The project did bad, and then I ended up getting a lot of heat because I'm the marketing guy, right? Everything I did was exactly what we agreed on and performed well. All the data showed that. And we had a report call with the team, and they kind of grilled me a little bit for a bunch of random reasoning, and they were very critical. And like I gave my response as to why I did X, Y, and Z, and they received it as, oh, you're being negative and like combative, and you're not listening, right? And I'm like, no, I'm just giving you the reasons and the analytics for it all. So I think some people misinterpret negativity with like the pursuit of truth, right? Like trying to get to the core truth of it. And let's face it, like most people in this world don't know how to communicate. So when you start getting into that hard conversation of like, okay, let's find the truth together, they ain't up for it. So maybe it's not so much as you're negative over you're just after truth.
Well, I mean, I am after truth. That's true. But I think I know myself enough to also think that I'm like, I think I'm I don't know. I'm working on it, but I definitely am a negative kind of guy. But interestingly, I used to think that I was a decent writer in high school, but recently I'm thinking that you were mentioning communication. I definitely could communicate better, for sure. It's like a superpower. If you could be positive and communicate well, that's like the biggest superpower I think you can have.
I think it's everything, and communication is a very fluid thing, especially depending on who you're speaking to, right? You have to adapt to the person that you're engaging with and kind of speak to them in a way that hits home. I mean, that's what communication is, right? You're trying to get the other person to understand your grounding and like the definition of what you're pushing for, and that depends on how they receive it too.
For sure.
This is so good because I agree. Like, so that's like where self-awareness is key, right? If you're self-aware, or try to be, because can you ever be fully self-aware? But like, if Ben is seeking the truth, like I have friends like you, and I love talking to them because I'm not contrarian. Like I need help in that aspect. But if we're like communicating and like I've got like super right-wing family members that, and I'm a moderate. So, but like, I love talking to them because they're seeking their truth and I'm seeking my truth. And I love it when people are opinionated because it's very clear what they're all about. unless they're trying to push something on the other person, right? Like that's different. But yeah, I think.
Well, I just like I also notice it from like my personal relationships, right? Like just like it's like, man, you're just like, are you analytical? Are you cynical? Are you skeptical? Or are you just fucking negative? Like, you know, it's just like, I don't know, maybe there's just like, you know, like working on it, you know?
Yeah, it's a constant.
Get
you
the
gotta
fuck
kind of
out.
fight. Yeah.
I think it's one thing to understand that you're something, and then it's another to realize why you are something. To figure out why you're doing X, Y, and Z, right? Maybe there's a deeper underlying problem with the person that you're engaging with, or something that you've had in the past happen to you, right?
Yeah, like if you're getting negative results, or if you're not getting the results that you desire, and your life is not going the way you desire, it's like, is it that you're interacting with the wrong people that aren't good for you, or is it that your perspective needs to be shifted?
No, it's all up here. It's all up here for sure. It's all Ben. Whatever it is.
It's entertaining on TikTok.
I didn't hear you, Spence. Yes, it can be.
Years, man. No, I do it all the time. I've got a little trick that I do. At the end of the day, I take a look and I go, where was I agitated? Did I ever feel envious or jealous? Did I get really angry? And did I get really bummed out? And I start looking, what were the trigger points of that? Who was I with when that? What was my response? And then, you know, and I immediately, because I will go to play the victim is the easiest part. I'll go, okay, well, what was my part in it? You know, and you start going down this little puzzle and putting it together, and you can it gives clarity there. It's an interesting exercise, and it brings a lot of freedom.
I hear it. It makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's what? Yeah, I don't know. I answer real questions. You ask me how I'm doing, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm pretty negative, but I'm working on it. I don't know.
So you guys, John just got here. Hi, John. But I was just about to say I have an 11 o'clock appointment, and I'm happy to just hand this off. Is anybody willing to host so you guys can close out on your own? I normally I would stay.
Yeah, I think I gotta run too. We gotta get ready for the VeeFriends 2 launch, baby. So.
Well, then let's quickly, John. How's it going?
Good. I just popped in to say hi to everybody. I'm juggling multiple meetings too, so.
Cool. Are you going to mint today? You have any?
No, I missed book games and so didn't qualify for the snapshot. So.
Okay, will you send us all some good luck then? That I'll get the good.
Yeah, good luck everybody for the next 12.5 days.
Pay attention to the secondary market. You might be able to get a steal.
True.
I personally am so grateful for you listening to this episode of the Hawk Flawk. If anything resonated with you, please leave a comment and let us know. We'd love to spread the useful parts of this video to help as many as possible. And if you'd be so kind to like and subscribe on all the channels you are hearing this or watching this on, I'll say thank you again, for real. From one hawk to another, Ka.